Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the AGL Paikuhan and how good he is in DBZ Dokkan battle after his Extreme Z Awakening. So this is Righteous Otherworld Defense Paikuhan. He is alongside Chinemba, one of the two units from the Otherworld Warriors Extreme Z battle. He greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, causes immense damage to the enemy, greatly lowers attack, and being a Connected Hope lead, he's 180% Connected Hope. And I think overall, Connected Hope is just a, I don't know, how can I say, strange category, I want to say. But he greatly raises attack and defense for one turn, which I think is great on both his unit and his normal super attack. He greatly lowers attack on both as well, but if you have a Goku Angel or Vegeta Angel, he will be attacks effective against all types. Now his passive is simple but interesting. He has attack and defense of 200%, 50% chance of evading the enemy's attack, and he gives super class allies Ki +2, attack and defense of 30%. For 7 turns from his entry, he has defense of 200% and guards all attacks. With 3 or more Ki spheres obtained, he will have a great chance of launching an additional super. He will have Otherworld Warriors or Connected Hope category allies 30% extra support. And with 1 or more Rainbow Ki spheres obtained, he will have Ki +4, evasion up of 20%, and sealing the enemy's super attack for 2 turns. He also, when attacking with 12 or more Ki, gets attack and defense of 200%. A couple of things about his passive that are very interesting before we talk about links and categories and that. So I think him losing the guard is a bit of a shame. I know his evasion is very good, and he can be incredibly good evasively. So I'm not writing him off at all. He is a very good unit. I like him a lot. He is meant to also function in the 3rd slot on teams. He's not mentioned to exist in the 2nd slot. But I think removing the guard is just really preventing using him in certain events where that evasion is disabled. I just don't think it is a good process to go through. I think it's fundamentally not great, because I think what it does is it prevents him running in certain situations. Then on top of that, one thing that's super interesting is locking the extra support behind 3 or more type Ki spheres. Your priority will always be a Rainbow Ki sphere, because that 20% evasion is what separates him from being moderately good to being exceptional. And that Rainbow Ki sphere is crucial to him. It gives him the Ki he needs, it gives him the evasion he needs. It's just more important than the type orbs. But the type orbs are crucial for him to be a really good support for those categories. What I would have liked is maybe to have him be like a 50% superclass support, and then give him 10% or 20% extra, or even 30% extra like it is for Otherworld Warriors or Connected Hope. Connected Hope and Otherworld Warriors are not super popular categories. Giving them an 80% attack and defense support is not something like broken. They have good units on there, but they also have incredibly bad units. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. I think it would have been fine. But I do really like Paikuhan. There's a lot about him that's great. The evasion is really good. 70% evasion. You're going to build his potential system into majority evasion. So he's going to sit with like 72, 73, 74%. Defensively, after super, he's very strong, because of that 200% boost with 12 or more Ki, and he's also obviously got the raises on his super. His link set's not that great. It's one of his main limiting factors. Gentleman, Core Judgment, these are just awkward to get on the categories he's on. And then on top of that, his categories themselves are a little bit limited. He's only on 8, which isn't bad for a Paikuhan unit. It's just not great for like a leading DFE connected kind of unit. For me though, everything else about him is great. The support is very good still, even with the conditions required. The evasion is very good still, even though obviously if it's cancelled it causes him problems. He's meant to float. He does decent damage. I mean, 20 million I can see here at a rainbow level. Not bad. Attacks effectively against all types, not bad. Additionals are built in as well, so he can get that additional attack. Greatly lowering attack is an incredibly useful function. Sealing is an incredibly useful function. So he's got tools, he's got utility, and he's got a Ghost Usher. So he has a Ghost Usher, he has Sealing, he has Support, he has attacks effective against all types, he's got greatly lowering attack, he's got Evasion. He's got a lot of incredibly good tools. So I'm very impressed with his EZA. I think for me, functionally, it's incredibly good. I think it does what you need, it encompasses what you need, it builds what you need. It makes him a good support unit that functions at a very high level. I think there are limitations, understandably, and I think they could have done one or two things differently, considering how few categories he's on. I still think overall, they did an incredibly good Extreme Z battle, and Extreme Z, Awakening. I think if I could change one thing, barring that support, is I would have just made him keep his guard. Like I said, it just limits him a little bit in some events. And because, as Link said, it's difficult to hit, like that Core Judgment is very crucial for his defense, and it is a little bit hard to get. Giving him that guard permanently, I think, would have been fine. With that being said, though, I, for one, think he's still very, very good. I am still very, very impressed with him, and I still think at the end of the day, he is a very solid, good unit. So yeah, for me, that is something I am incredibly impressed by. I think he is very, very good, and I am very happy with how he performs. If you want to know, should you use him, he is very, very usable on the categories he's on. Float this guy, let him give you support, let him give you utility, let him lower the boss's attack, let him seal the boss, let him do a lot of great work, and you are going to be very happy. If you try to use him as a headlining second slot unit in that, just don't think it's his spiel. I think his real usefulness comes from his utility that he brings. His Ghost Usher, his active skill, is also very crucial, and I want to stress how powerful skipping a turn of a boss in hard content is. Skipping the turn of a boss in a red zone or any event is like gold. It is up there with 4C enemy super attacks. It is very powerful, very potent, and it's something that is incredibly valuable. So you should really value that. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any queries or questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, as always, bye.